Hello everybody and welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII. In the last episode we made it outside onto the world map and I went over very slightly what I was going to be doing for the next few hours off screen. But now I'm going to show you basically what I did. I went a little more overboard than I had originally intended, but I intended to go overboard anyway, so it's really not that big a deal. What I have done is I have learned all of these skills. Which ones did I actually learn? Elemental defense, HP, vitality, magic. I don't know which one actually was learned. Magic plus 20, and these two down here. And also for Shiva, I learned this one down here, and pretty much all of these on this first page. Obviously aside from the ones that were already learned, but you saw that last episode, I'm sure. So anyways, I learned all of those. It took me, my counter's at 8 hours. It didn't take me 8 hours. I left my game on for a couple hours while I went to eat. But it did take probably about 6 hours. I didn't do it the most efficient way possible, so it could have been done in under 6 hours, but I didn't do it that way. So anyways, I also got a bunch of magic, like I said I would. I got Cure, Cura, Fire. I don't have 100 Asunas because there's not a real reliable way to get Asuna at this point that I know of. But I have 100 of everything else that you see here. And I will go over where I got these in a second, but it is the same for her and for him. They both have 100 of all of those spells. So that's another thing I did. I'll show you what I have junctioned real quick, and it kind of go over a little better how the magic junctioning works. Like I was trying to explain last time, every spell will raise or lower well, not lower, but will raise your stat in a different way. So, obviously Cura is better than Cure, but it's also, if you look, with 100 of everything, Cura is the best thing that I have right now, besides Slow, which is the same thing. But it's the best thing that will raise my HP, and every stat is different. Like, I guess I should probably have Slow on here. Oh, I just got those slows, that's why I didn't do that yet. But yeah, so Slow was better than what I had on there originally, which was Cure. So, and Cura would be better, but I want the, actually, I can do that, because Slow was the same. So yeah, that's probably the best thing for now. Magic, I'm not entirely worried about because I won't be using too much magic. So, but as you can see, everything is different. I also have learned this over here, which is magic defense, or elemental defense. And I put Fire on there because, if you can't guess, the Fire Cavern has fire enemies that will use fire. So Fire gives her an 80% resistance to fire, which is pretty good. I haven't learned any of those yet, but we'll go over those when we do. And hopefully that was a little bit better of an explanation. Let me check his magic real quick. Strength is really what I want him to have. You can do this manually. There's like a button that will just put the best on for what you want. But, oh well. I like to go through them and kind of see what's going on. So yeah, I think I have the best stuff on for him. Except for that, but doesn't matter. I also have Elemental Attack, which is this one for him. And I put Blizzara on there because I think the enemies are weak to Blizzard in the Fire Cavern. I'm not entirely sure. But if you look, also, you can't put certain things on here because obviously they're not elemental attacks. So you can't put elemental cure because that wouldn't make any sense. And you also cannot do elemental like sleep or slow or berserk. But you can put them over here. This is the status attack and status defense. But I haven't unlocked those yet, so we'll go into that more when we get it. But basically what the elemental attack will do is my regular physical attacks will have a blizzard effect on them. So if it's weak to blizzard, it will do more damage. And it will also, if the enemy is strong to blizzard, it will do less damage. So there you go. Keep that in mind. I also got some abilities. Vitality plus 20%. It's pretty self-explanatory for him. And I also got, I believe, magic plus 20% for her. And I think that is all I did. With all that AP grinding that I was doing and trying to get all the magic and learning everything, I also made it to level 20 and 21. That also had an effect on the enemies around here. They're a little tougher. And that's alright. I'm gonna get into a fight here just to kind of show off what's going on. And these are the same enemies we fought last time, so there we go. And if you remember last time, no, it's still the same here. Let's check and see if this guy's any different. Well, these are the weaker versions. I guess you have a chance of running into the weaker version or the stronger version. But if you run into the stronger version, they will have Fire as a draw as opposed to fire. So that's a little bit faster way of getting Fire, but you have to level up, obviously, to get them to start doing that, to start appearing. But what I had done for a vast majority of it, which I forgot to go over, so I will go over that real quick, is... Get out of here. I don't care about all that. The ability that I learned, called Mid-Mage for Fine, whatever it's called. This takes, like I was kind of explaining last time, it takes cures, or it takes the level 1 spell and makes it into a level 2 spell. So Cure becomes Cura. It costs 5 cures to make 1 Cura, or 5 fires to make 1 Fire. And that's how I got my second level spells for the most part. Just by drawing 100 fires and then making it into 20 Firas, and then drawing 100 more fires and making 20 more Firas. So that's what took me the most time, I think. It's probably not the most efficient way to do it, like I said, but that's what I did. And also, the bite bugs give fire. There are some enemies, I'll show them off real quick because I use them quite extensively. There's some enemies down here on the beach. These are the little fish guys, the guys I can't pronounce the name. These guys, they're always on the beach. This is the only thing on the beach, actually. And they give a 3 AP each. And there's always they always come in a group of 2. I sort of remember running into groups of 3 of these, but I never ran into it while I've been playing. So it might be just like a different part of the world or something that I'm thinking of. But I've only ever ran into groups of 2 of these guys, and they're always on the beach, and they're the only thing you run into on the beach. So it's a really good way to get AP. Like I said, they give 3 each, so each battle will give you 6. And they're not too tough. When they're buried under the ground like that, they have a higher defense. But once they come out of the ground, they're a lot easier. They do hit sort of hard, so I mean, not like super hard. They're not gonna kill you in one hit or anything, but If you take too much time, they will dwindle your health down. But those guys also, oh shit, I forgot to show you. You can draw Blizzard, Sleep. I want to say Blizzard, Sleep, and Scan from them. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Blizzard, Sleep, and Scan from them, which is how I got Sleep. In the forest, there is the caterpillar guy. He has Cure, Thunder, and once he levels up, he has Slow, which is where I got Slow from. And there's another guy on the grass that has Cure, Blizzard, and maybe Scan. And then I also went into the training facility in the garden, and what's the word? Oh, I fought some guys in there, and they have Silence, and when they're higher level, they also have Berserk. The problem with going in there is that you only have Squall. Quistis does not follow you into the garden. She just waits at the front door, so it's just you in the training facility. And it is a good place for you to get killed, because that's another place where the Tyrannosaurus guy can randomly appear. So be wary of that. There's only 2 different enemies in there that I could tell. The one guys that gave me all the spells that I took, and the Tyrannosaurus. So wasn't too hard to find what we needed. Now, we are about to go into the fire cavern here. Well, I guess we are going in there now, but there is a I'll read this in a second. There is, obviously she's been talking about the seed test that's coming up, and we will in fact be taking tests, and there will be like, the way that you perform in the tests determines how good of a rank you're going to get later. There's a lot of different things that are a part of what rank you get, and I don't know all of the different parts, personally. I know one of them is in this fire cavern, and it has to do with how much time you have left once you've completed the fire cavern. And what I mean by that is, here in a second, we're going to have to choose a time limit of how fast we need to go through this dungeon. It'll let us choose between like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and 40 minutes, I think. But it doesn't matter which one of those you choose, it has to do with how much time you have left. And it actually determines by, you want the least amount of time left as possible, I believe, to get the best rank for this part. I think, if I remember correctly. So, it doesn't really tell you in-game how any of this works. So if you want the best possible rank, because you won't learn your rank until pretty farther along into the game. Probably a few more hours into the game, at least. So, if you want the best possible rank when you get to that point, you should probably look it up, how to get it. It has to do with this fire cavern, it has to do with the secrets we're gonna go take. It has to do with some other stuff that I'm not really sure on, so I just wanted to point that out before we continued on here. So, let's go. Okay, junctioning magic. Now pay attention. I'll be explaining how to utilize the magic you have stocked. And that is basically what I just went over. So, we're gonna skip that. When you draw a new magic, try experimenting with it when you junction. This is how you become stronger. Okay, ready to go? Oh. You know how to use your gunblade? That's just the R1 button when you attack. Which kind of leads me into something else. The the like limit breaks in this game, they're based on well, what it seems to me anyways is it seems to be the higher your health is, the least likely it is you are going to get to use it. Almost dead, you're almost guaranteed to be able to use your limit break on a regular basis. And I'll try to show off the limit breaks later. But probably not right away. I'm just gonna say I already know. Oh, okay, I was just concerned, that's all. Alright, let's go. But yeah, and also, I guess I could show off another thing. The... What is it? The spider web and the water crystal, both of which I believe are dropped by the fish guys. The water crystal doesn't start dropping until you get the second version of the fish guys, when they start casting, or having Blizzara as a draw. I think. But these are both ways to learn blue magic for Quistis, which is her limit breaks. Her limit breaks are the blue magic for this game. I've already used them, but that is how you learn them. You get items throughout the game that teach it to her, and you teach it to her, and she is able to use it when she is dying. So, that's pretty cool. So now let's finally go on into here and start this fire cavern. Objective: to obtain a low-level GF. A seed member must support you. Wait, a seed member must support. Are you ready? Oh, yes. I'm ready. I'm his support. Instructor number 14, Quistis Trep. Choose a time limit. Choose one suited to your abilities. Challenging yet reasonable. So this is what I was talking about. It doesn't matter which one you pick, if I remember correctly. You just want to have a small amount of time left when you complete this. So if you pick 40 minutes, you have to wait around for about 40 minutes, or 35 minutes to get the best rank. So I'm just going to go with 10, because I think I can do it in 10. Very well, good luck. If I can't, well, then I suck. So let's do this. It's not very hard, it's not very long. So, we'll do our best. And this timer starts, and let's get going. My job is to support you in battle. Everything else is up to you. Fine. You know, the boys often choke on this something 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 battle. This is probably going to be a new enemy, though. This is the bomb. Awesome. Bomb, an elemental monster. Use an ice attack for these. Check the monster's weakness with scan. I probably won't be using scan a lot. They only have fire, so I already have fire. We're not going to worry about that. And since I have Blizzara on my weapon, this is not going to be too terribly difficult. If you don't have it, obviously it's going to take a little longer. Bombs are kind of dangerous. They can explode if I know my bombs correctly. You know, the boys often choke in this test when I come with them. I guess my charms makes them nervous. Whatever. I'm just kidding. Try to keep you relaxed, that's all. And that just wastes time, so let's try to shut her up. Again, this area, or this cave in general, is not that long, so it shouldn't take us too long. Here's just a couple more bombs. I have already edited out one battle, but I will definitely be editing out battles that are repeats that you don't need to see. So that'll be fun for me. But I talked through that battle, so now we'll stay in. So let's go on up here. Oh man. Oh well, this is another new enemy. This is the bat thing. They have thunder and scan. Nothing we really need. and they are very weak. So, that's that. Alright. And on this screen, to the left, there is nothing, but to the right, there is a draw point. And it's just fire, so we don't need fire, we already have 100 fires. But if you don't have 100 fires, you can get a few there. Here's the last new enemy, I believe, in this area. I did not mean to attack him, I will probably kill him. That's unfortunate. He had fire, thunder, and blizzard. Oh, good, I still got to see that. So there you go. You can get all the elemental spells in here. So if you wanted to, you could choose 40 minutes and just, you know, grind in here, but I didn't do that. Now I noticed that this episode is going to be long as well. I guess I was right. You and Cypher are in a class of your own. You both have amazing strength and potential. But after these first few episodes, I'm gonna try and keep it under 20 minutes. I will probably fail in keeping it under 20 minutes, but I'm going to try. So this is the last room. Okay, this is it. Are you ready? You seem confident enough. And here we will be fighting this monstrosity. This is our first boss battle, and it's really not tough even if you didn't grind up like I did. But this is Ifrit. He has fire magics, obviously. He has fire cure and scan, all of which we have, so it's not that big a deal. If you use, let's see, if you use a GF Shiva, he will have a little dialogue, so we're going to do that. And I get to show off using a GF. What it does is it uses the GF's HP for your HP while it's casting, which is the blue line going down. And once the blue line gets down, you use it. This is Diamond Dust, this is Shiva. And it takes a little while, so, you know, there's that. Got a pretty long animation. But it does a decent amount of damage. And they have Shiva. And that's it. So, not bad for a human. And that's that. So I'm just going to attack. For me to lose to a human. Very well, I will join you. I should have taken a little longer to do that. For the time to get the best rank, but it really doesn't matter too much for the rank. It matters a little bit, but not too much. We got G returners, which is like a Phoenix down for your GFs, because they can die. And we got Ifrit's card, which is one of the better cards at the start of the game. And we get 20 AP, which is pretty good. And for that, we actually get a new GF, which is Ifrit. There isn't much time, but let me go over this real quick. Good, you got yourself a GF. If you junction that GF, you'll be able to use the Elemental J ability. Here's an explanation on the elements, and I am also going to skip this, because I hate tutorials. There's a lot of fire elemental monsters here, so junction blizzard to your elemental attack. I have already done that. You'll have an easier time with fire elemental enemies. Yes, yes. And now you've noticed probably that the timer is gone, which is good. It stops after Ifrit's fight. So yeah. But now we do have Ifrit as well. And he does have elemental attack, which is what I spent a lot of time learning because it costs like 160 to learn. But I wanted it before fighting him, so that's how I do it. This will probably be getting junctioned onto Squall because he has HP that we can learn. And strength plus 20, and I'm big on strength. He also has the fire magic refine, which is not really important anymore, but if you wanted it, that's how you can get some fires. I'll show it off in a second. But I'm going to have him start working on HP so that I can get Skull's HP up a little. And probably in between episodes, because this is what I do, I'm going to learn Elemental Defense, and I'm going to learn Strength plus 20, and I'm going to learn Fire Magic Refine. Because I can. But what was I going to show off here? Oh yeah, the ability. Fire, thunder, and ice magic refine all work the same way, so this is basically what they do. You find M-stone pieces or magic stones from your fights. They're random drops from the enemies. There's also other items that will be useful for this ability also later, but we don't have them yet. But one of these will turn into 5 thunders, and one of these will turn into 5 thundaras. So if you find a bunch of these, this is a good way to get magic. And obviously the thunder one is for thunder magic, the ice one is for ice magic. Oh, and this is how I got water. Fish fins give you 20 waters. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This episode's pretty long, so I'm gonna cut it here. And I will probably meet you outside of this dungeon near Balam Garden after I've grinded up even more. Hooray! So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.